What did you do? Well, that didn't take long. I just bought you that. This is for you, dummy. What did you do? You ate your pool. We just bought this pool for him because he loves playing in the water. And he ate a hole through the pool. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, I guess that was a quick $10.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back everybody. It's now July 26th, about 11:15 in the morning, and this video will be all about that KLX250. Of course, you know, I purchased this a year and a half ago, and then I did a refresh video that's seen quite a bit of activity, and I've gotten a lot of questions off of that from people. So I just wanted to update you now. It's a year and a half later. You see that in the first video, we did, of course, the graphics. We did all the suspension for my weight and girth. And then we also did some fine-tuning on the carburetor to get it to run better. It was misjetted tremendously when I bought the thing. It could barely run on its own. So I got that pretty well cleaned up. And I put a new exhaust on it. Of course, I went through two when I dropped it off the back of my car. So just to kind of refresh you where we're at today, I've ridden it for a year and a half. I've been pretty happy with it. And then I had taken a long break from riding, 5 years, and just started riding again because my older brother has an interest now and lives in an area where he can ride out of his house. So we're interested in doing trail rides from the driveway. Occasionally maybe trailering it up into the woods somewhere because we don't like to spend a lot of time on the street. So basically what I've done here is during the last year and a half of riding it, I keep wanting more power. So after doing some research, I found out that one of the things I could do to increase that power, especially now that it's a 307, when I bought it, the original owner, since '96, had ridden it till that motor was smoking, had a bored out to a 292, and ridden it till that motor was smoking, and then he had it bored out to a 307 just a few months before I bought it. So I bought it because it had the 307. It's street legal for $2,200, half the price of probably the cheapest 450 street legal bike in California I could find. So I've been searching for performance and power since I bought it, knowing I would go on a little journey. So here we are, we're about halfway there. I want to increase the power. So I found a person in Hesperia that takes a 33 millimeter carburetor, bores it to a 34. It's got an accelerator pump. He modifies it so it fits in there, and then he tunes it to run really well. And all I can tell you is the guy knows what he's doing. It starts like it's brand new. It idles like it's brand new. And there's a considerable amount of more power from the bottom all the way to the top. Definitely noticeable in the middle when you get on it. It comes to life really well, and then you can just put it around too in a tall gear and be quiet through the trails and stuff. So I've done a couple rides since I got the carburetor. I did an exploratory ride here where I got myself almost into a little bit of trouble. I'm exploring the tops of these ridges that take you from my house up into the mountains. You get on Google, you find these trails, and you're like, well, let's go check it out, right? So I was exploring, and then I made a right turn on a ridge and just saw this hill that was like 6 inches deep in silt with boulders everywhere, little softball-sized boulders. So I just about half throttle held it in the meat of the power in like second gear trying to climb this thing. My legs were swapping all over. So here's a little clip of that right here. wasn't ready for that. Probably could have made that, but all that correcting, hanging on, coming up here, man, was killing me. I'm so tired just from this. So obviously this gnarly trail goes somewhere. Pretty proud of this puppy though. Little 307 was yanking my fat body up this hill. Not bad. Whew. I didn't realize it was going to be that. That should make for some good video. Woo! So for a while there, I thought I was done riding, but as I mentioned before, my interest was re-sparked by the notion of going riding with a brother who I hadn't ridden with for probably since I was 13. I'm 53 now, and now we've been riding about 2 years together, so we didn't ride together for 30 plus years. As life just took over and we went off and did our stuff, you know, so I was stoked to be able to do that. So my original goal, again, get the cheapest bike that I could with a plate. So here's where we're at on the bike as of today. We've got 2200 in the bike, 660 in the original suspension redo, and then 300 in that pipe, and then another 200 in the pipe again because I dropped it. So that puts us at $45.60, probably the price of an older 450, and then I would still want to refresh the suspension and go all through it again. So I'm right at that initial price, but it took time, it took years to get there, so it was easier to pay for. And then, of course, just recently, I had that carburetor done. I had the front suspension reserviced because it's been a couple years. I had a new clutch put in, a new cam chain put in, the valves checked and adjusted, the cam inspected, just to make sure that when I start revving this thing to the moon, nothing's coming through the cylinder wall. And that was $1,200. So $45.60 plus, some of you are already there, but I'm a tire guy, $57.60. So let's say I got $5,800 in this thing. Over 2 years to have a street legal, modified, super fun bike. Super fun meaning it doesn't do anything scary because it's not too powerful and you can throw it around because it's light, but there is still enough power there to have some fun. So after 2 years getting to ride it for a long time, I'm into it for about $6,000. Of course I'd never be able to sell it for $6,000. I mean, I might be able to get $35,000 for it to the right guy after I go through and detail it and everything. But I did save all the original receipts. That's the 307 receipt when he had the motor done. This is the carburetor, refreshing the suspension, clutch, cam chain, valve adjustment receipt. This is all new, brand new suspension, all new springs, revalved, everything. I'm saving all the receipts, so if I ever want to sell it, I can get top dollar for it. But because it's so useful, I'll probably never sell it. I do, now that I've been riding a lot more, I do want to go to something more modern and definitely more power. I don't want to spend the money, but I'm just going to play it by ear for like the next year and just see how it goes. So being 53 wakes you up to a lot of realities, right? So I left home at 14, so I got a little bit of a jump start on life, and I've learned a lot of lessons the hard way. You can ask people who really know me. I'm not looking for sympathy, but when you start to get over that 50, and I know some of you older people are telling me just wait, but I do see that you start thinking about the downside of life. So moving to this house, multiple reasons: privacy, peace and quiet, a beautiful view every night after dinner. Eventually we want to do a pool, so we have all of our guests come up here. And then another thing is I wanted to be close to the dirt, right? So I could take my toys out and enjoy the next 15, 20, 30, whatever I got left. And then one of those things I wanted to do was be able to ride to work a couple times a month. My work is 30 miles from here through the dirt and about 36, 37 miles on pavement. And so recently of course I did the one ride from my other house in deeper in Apple Valley, which is about 10 miles further, where I was on the road a lot. I don't want to be on the road a lot. So from my house, I can take dirt trails and even legal off-road roads right into Fawn Skin, or come out on the North Shore side of Big Bear and just ride around the lake a couple miles to my shop. So I did that this week. In fact, I did it on Friday. Today's Sunday. I'm feeling a lot better, but I didn't realize it's a 70-mile round trip, and half that time I'm standing up, and man, my legs are shot. But it was a lot of fun. I got to see some wildlife early in the morning. And so here's some of the video from that. All right, so that's pretty much it. Pretty happy with what I've ended up with. Like I said, I'm gonna ride it for at least another year. Try to get some more rides in as we come towards the end of summer and get into fall and winter, where it's just more comfortable where I live, where my brother lives, etc. So I'm pretty stoked. I have a really nice bike. Took me some time to get it dialed. There are a couple things that I still want to do. As you can see, the handlebars are a little mishmashed. I'm putting on a 1-inch riser because, like I was just saying, I try to stand a lot, and I felt like they were just a little too low, and I was arching a little too far forward, putting a lot of stress on my thighs. So I think 1 inch will do it. I can stand almost straight up. So I'm going to do that right now. And then also I did a new rear tire. Good job. So as you know, I just got this thing back. One of the things I wanted to do was put a slightly bigger rear tire. So I went from a 100/118 to a 100/110/18. So I'm swapping that out. And I just wanted to show you guys a trick. You know, all these dirt bikes come with these little bands that protect the spokes from the tube. And for, I don't know how many, 40, 30 years, I've taken these and I've removed them. And what I've done is taking regular old duct tape, and you strip off a big length and you rip it down the middle, and then you use it to cover your spokes. After you clean it, of course. Windex, get everything out of there. But I've been doing this for 30 plus years, and I've never had an issue. They don't move. When you change your tire, you just rip it off and do another one. And I learned this from a dirt bike magazine before all the multimedia we have now, and I've been doing it ever since. So that's just a little trick I wanted to share with you guys. And finally, if you were paying attention during some of the riding parts, you could see where I rifle through the gears really quickly from a standstill. I am going to go taller. I know I went shorter originally a year and a half ago when I put the sprocket on. But I am going to go taller because now there's a little more power, and I want to spend a little more time in each gear versus just ramping them right up to third and then taking off from there. So in the next video, what I'm going to talk about is all of the upgrades that I've done to that Razor. It'll be a compressed segment, not each and every product that I've added, but we did this, we did this, we did this, we did this. Just so you know where we're at on that, and maybe we'll take you for a cool ride or something like that. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Let's see what it is.
87, straight from the hose.
87 degrees right out of the hose?
Yeah.
What's the dirt?
Let's see. 147.
147? Oh my gosh, it is hot out today. What do you think?
I like it. I haven't seen one of these in a while.
A couple of these for the back patio overlooking the sunsets?
Yeah. Rock.
What?